sure you'll be able to do it on your own. Just a fun, quick craft. And you could do this on anything if you don't have wood slices. If you have just a piece of scrap wood, a piece of any type of wood surface that maybe you have left over from another craft project. If you go to the Dollar Tree, they've got Christmas tree shapes and ornament shapes in little packages. You could do it on anything like that.
Sorry, I had to get my screen reopen where I could find what I was looking for.
Do we need to be making it with the recording?
You could. There's some pauses in there to catch up.
But we could just wait.
Don't feel like you have to.
Okay.
Yes, so either way, if you want to start it and then we'll have time to finish afterwards. So I'm going to start.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to start today making our wood slice Christmas ornament.
So I'll show you a couple pictures here. You can do this several different ways. So the supplies that we're going to need today, if you need to double check your list, are a wood slice.
So wood slices, you can buy them at Michael's Craft Shop or Hobby Lobby. So I looked up the price at Hobby Lobby and they come in a bag. There was 6 or 7 in a bag and they were $7. But when you use your 40% off coupon, because nobody goes to Hobby Lobby without their 40% off coupon, it'll be half that price. So the price isn't that bad. Or you can do what I did. This is a branch of a dogwood tree that fell in my yard last year. So we just cut it. This slice is probably 3 inches in diameter. And I have a saw, I call it a chop saw. It's one of those with a big handle that comes down. So I just sliced up pieces. This one is about a 1/2 inch. You can slice them as big as you want if you've got access to a saw and a tree. And I think I made about 50 of them and I have them in a box in the garage and I just pull them out whenever I need them for anything.
You're going to need a paintbrush, some scissors, Mod Podge.
Here, can we get rid of these?
Something to sand with, an emery board or one of these sanders. These come from the Dollar Tree and I find that they're really handy. You can use them for a lot of things.
Go on the top.
A napkin, that's a 2-ply napkin. Any picture will do for your napkin. And then you're going to need a hanger to hang your ornament when you're all finished. Props to Anita for all the editing and making this look like a professional film. Okay, so we're going to start off by taking the wood slice and separating the napkin. This is a lot of times the hardest part. So I cheated. I already have a corner open, so you'll need to pull the napkin apart, because we just need 1 ply for this craft. Then roughly cut out the design that you're going to use. You're going to want to center it on your wood slice, because depending on the picture that you're using, you'll want to center it over the hole so that you can hang your ornament. Now you don't have to have a hole in your slice. If you don't, you can just put a magnet on the back and use it for a refrigerator magnet. So I'm going to center my picture over the wood slice and then flip it over to draw around it so I'll know where to cut. And just cut out your design. It doesn't have to be perfect, because later on we're going to take care of any of the rough edges. And this is actually going to be just a tad bigger than your slice when you finish cutting. Okay. So now we need the Mod Podge. You don't need a real thick coat of Mod Podge. A little goes a long way with this, and it does dry pretty quick. So you'll want to get it on fairly quick. And if you don't want to spend, this Mod Podge is not expensive. It's $3 or $4 at Walmart, but you can get a small container at the Dollar Tree, and that will make several projects. I always like to put my paintbrush in some water because, as I said, this dries really quick and it will mess up your paintbrush. So then you place your napkin that you've already cut out on top of the wood slice. Kind of have to be careful where you put it because wood slices aren't totally symmetrical, and you want to put it right back on the way you traced it. Push it down hard because you want to make sure all the little air bubbles and bumps are out. If you do use a piece of wrapping paper, you won't have to worry so much about the bumps. So on this other one is a piece of wrapping paper, so you can use whatever you want for this. And this just takes a moment to get flat, press down. And then I put another coat of Mod Podge on top of that. Just a light coat. It doesn't need to be very thick. Okay, so it's going to take just a minute to dry. So what the emery board or the sanding block, you just, if you'll flip your ornament over, it's got a little bit of overhang on the napkin. You can see right there. It's just a little bit bigger than the wood slice. So what I do is cut that off. If you can cut your excess off, it's just that much less that has to be sanded. So cut that little bit off. And you can wait till your ornaments dry to do this step, or you can use a hair dryer to speed up the drying process. But I just take the emery board and go around the edges like this. Everybody's got one of these if you don't have a piece of sandpaper. Just go around the edges, and you'll see where this is separating from the wood, and you can just pull off those little shavings. Plus it makes for a more finished, burnished edge. Gives it a more natural look when you pull off those little pieces that come off with your emery board. So once you get those all off and the edges smoothed out as the way you like it, it'll be totally dry by then. Just take something, a pencil, and burrow out the hole in your ornament if you're going to hang it. Then insert your hanger, and your ornament is ready for the tree or to put out on display. Now you can do this with anything you want. I also did it on a piece of scrapbook paper, And this one I made for my camper. It says, "Not all who wander are lost." And I'm going to put a magnet on the back of this one and put it on the camper refrigerator. So that's all there is to making this quick little Christmas ornament craft. I hope you enjoyed it today. Thank you.
Okay, so if you all have any questions or you want to sit there and work on your ornament, Casey can answer questions for you, and we'll just open the room to any comments.
Okay, I have a quick question. My paper doesn't seem to be sticking all the way to the edge. Is there a way I can go back and add more Mod Podge to make it stick better?
I would just try to peel up that edge just a tiny bit, and just maybe a smaller paintbrush, you might be able to get a little bit more paint underneath there. Or you
Okay.
could always just cut out another piece and use the back of the ornament, the back of the slice.
Might do that anyway, just so I have two. Thank you.
You're welcome.
As y'all finish these, you'll have to hold them up and turn your cameras on so we can see your finished product as well.
I had some napkins with one of the little red pickup trucks on it with the tree in the back, but it was about an inch too big for my ornament. That's the one I really wanted to use.
Oh. Oh, we have one. Miss Teresa's is finished.
Yeah, this is a poinsettia. I haven't got my hole drilled in the wood slice yet, but I'm going to use it as a hanging ornament. And this is from some wrapping paper. You know, it looks like that old-timey brown
Yeah.
paper that you would send a package in, but it's got a poinsettia on it.
Looks great.
Thank you. This has really been fun.
Thank you for sharing.
Oh, Miss Sarah, let's see if Miss Sarah, if you unmute and say something, that'll bring your picture up easier.
This came off of a Christmas card.
Very pretty.
Very easy.
Good idea. See, I'm not the only one that saves cards and uses them for other things.
I save
You know, that
everything
one,
and I pay hell for it at the house.
I was going to say, that's a great idea. You could do each year to recycle your cards and then have them in a tree or on a wreath or different places following years to remember those sweet cards. I kind of like that idea.
Yeah, I have a question about like if you use like a wood disc from from a tree from your yard, do you have to like do any prep work to like do a finish before you do the Mod Podge? And then what about the edges if you have a little bark?
I actually, if the more bark, I like it, the better. It just, this dogwood tree didn't have a lot of bark, but I've done some with other trees. I don't know which kind, but there seems to be a lot of bark. I like them better. If you cut it this year, you might want to put it in the oven on real low to dry the wood out. But I cut mine last year and they just had time to season. And the only reason I put them in the oven, maybe on about, like 100, the lowest setting, less than 200, maybe 175, maybe for 30 minutes or so. That helps it dry. But there's still sometimes little drops of sap will still come out. So that's the only thing I do on wood that I've just cut.
Okay, thank you.
And also it would kill bugs, but when you're slicing it that small, you're not gonna, if you see any holes in it, in the branch, once you slice it up, you probably wouldn't use that part anyway. So I don't think you're gonna have a problem with bugs, but But I know I've done this once before and somebody asked me about that. So either the oven or the aging, just wait until the next season is going to take care of that.
And then are you cutting them on like a miter saw when you cut the branches or to get your disc?
It's called a chop saw, and
Okay.
I have to just hold the branch on the base, and there's a handle you just pull down, and it's really just like you're chopping it with a knife.
Oh,
And
okay.
I always cut my branches much longer than, I don't like to get my hands but about 6 inches from that blade, so I always have a bunch of leftover.
And
You
how,
can cut them as wide as you want.
okay, and how, like the thickness, like how thick was your disc that you were using that?
Just about a 1/2 inch.
Okay.
But some of them that I've cut are, you can, as probably no thinner than 1/4 of an inch, because you still want to keep that natural look.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
My husband cut this off of a branch that fell in our backyard too. I don't know what it was, but and this is just wrapping paper that was left over that I didn't. It's not big enough to wrap anything else in, but I saved the scraps in something, so I don't have a hole in mine either. But that's kind of how it turned out.
That snowman looks great.
He's really cute.
Well, it was pretty. It was bigger than I thought, but yet it does kind of stand out, having a bigger face.
So I'm just now thinking about this. I bet you could use a photo as well. I haven't done it with a photo,
yeah,
but you could.
Put your grandchildren on one. That'd be neat. Or the whole family.
Your snowman's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you. That was real easy though. I like that. My brush strokes want to show though. Does that matter, or I just need to try to do a better job?
I think that leads to the natural look. I don't think that's a problem at all, because it showed on mine more so on the wrapping paper than on the napkin, because it was thinner. You didn't really see it in the napkin, but on my wrapping paper I did.
Mine was wrapping paper. It's probably the slick finish. It made it show more, I guess. Okay, that's cute. It's easy to do. This be something very easy the grandchildren could make. They'd be cute. They would enjoy.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Miss Robin is sharing one.
Yes, that's me. With the
Yeah.
red, it's wrapping paper. And I used a piece of twine. This was a slice of cedar. Actually, that Penny West cut last year. That was just wrapping paper.
Cute. And Miss Teresa has one up.
Yeah, I've got my second one up, and this one is from a napkin. The first one I did was from wrapping paper, but this is from a napkin.
I like that. That looks so natural.
Robin gave me an idea. If you didn't want to lose the natural of your wood, you could put a thinner ribbon and tie it and not have to bore the hole like she did, and still show the wood around the edge.
See all these creative people? We need to have a brain tank, and we'll all get it. Think of everything.
I don't know if y'all can see it, but I took the twine and actually wrapped it around the whole bottom of it all the way up to the top, and then put the bow at the top, and then I did a string attached to that so I could hang it in the tree. Of course, this is a much thicker slice than what y'all were using, because this was used for something else actually.
Is your wood actually have the white edge, or you covered up all the wood?
We had painted these with a white and then used a pine cone on top of the wood last year, and we put little tips of white all over the pine cone and then a little gold star on it, so it was really cute. We've got some we'll be selling next weekend over at Fiddler's Grove at the sale. I'm hoping that all of y'all can come, because it'll be fun.
That's in Wilson County, for those of you who aren't in Wilson County.
Yeah, Fiddler's Grove at the fairgrounds.
Right.
Is that this weekend or next? What's the date on that?
It's next weekend. It's a week from Saturday, so let's see.
Okay.
This Saturday is, I don't even know what the date is this Saturday, but it's the
It's the
21st. I'm
14th.
sorry.
Yeah,
It's
so
the
you're on the
21st, and
21st.
it's the 21st, and it's from 10 to 3.
10 to 3. There's no charge to come shop, right? No ticket to get in.
Exactly.
Right. Robin, you know how many vendors are there?
The last I heard from Gwen over at the Fiddler's Grove, when I first signed up, there was like 8 or 9. So I'm hoping that more people signed up throughout FCE because we didn't have, any kind of a sale this year.
Right.
And they've opened it up, and the tables are the booth is like $25, and that's all. They're just trying to regenerate a little bit of money into Fiddler's Grove because they had such a loss this year, after COVID hit. And so they decided to have a sale.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
Yeah, really. It'll be fun.
Anyone else have an ornament that they finished that they want to unmute or put your video on so you can see? Miss Sarah's got another one finished there with the snowman.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
That's perfect with the wood.
That's off the envelope from a Christmas card.
Show
See,
it
I told
again,
you, I
please.
save everything.
Show it again.
I'm glad to see a fellow hoarder.
Miss
Yes.
Sarah, can you show it again? Some
Sure.
didn't get to see that quite.
He's holding a little lantern. He
Oh,
has a
how
crow on
cute.
his head.
That cute.
Thank
Like
you.
that twine too.
These came from Hobby Lobby and they were already done.
Oh,
There was 4 in the package, and I thought, well, I'll make some for my grandbaby and the grandbaby coming. Christmas. He's due December 21st.
So you all are welcome to stay on as long as you want to and chat and show the different ones as you're finishing them. Casey, do you have anything else you want to share with them? Or?
No, I appreciate everybody showing their ideas because I've got some more now. Hadn't really thought about the Christmas card, so I may have to give that a try too.
I love that idea. And I think there's the closing event maybe is at 3, and it's show and tell. So be sure and have all of the things that you've made and enjoyed to be able to share on the closing event at 3. Like I said, you're welcome to stay on, or if you want to leave for a little bit and come back at 3, you're welcome to do that. So.